I am going to be facing Sonic fans' biggest fear. Non-Sonic games. And no, it's not Nintendo. So over the past couple months, I've actually been getting into a lot of other game franchises. And today, I wanted to talk about it because for the longest time, I really have been the guy who only played Sonic games. Like, seriously, nothing else. Like, I'm being, like, genuinely serious. Like, nothing outside of Sonic was what I was regularly playing or had even played at all. So, as of recent, I have made it a big dedication of mine to really be getting into other stuff. And it's not just gonna be something like, oh, I played Mario Odyssey and I thought it was good. No, I'm going a little bit farther than that. I want to be getting into Sony stuff, like all these different, a little more wide range than just other platformers. You know what I mean? I want to try out different stuff. And so, the thing I started out with might seem a little weird, but I'm still a big fan of it, and that is the Call of Duty Black Ops games, minus 3 and 4. I can't be bothered, man. The main reason I got into the Treyarch Call of Duties is because of good friends and fellow Sonic tubers, Shall10 and Stickman Guides. Man, these two would not stop hyping up flipping Black Ops 6. And so I was like, okay, I want to see what this whole Call of Duty thing is all about, because I genuinely never grew up with any of these. Like, I didn't play Modern Warfare on my 360. Like, yeah, right, I didn't even have a 360. So it was like, I completely missed the curve on all of this stuff. So I was like, hold on, I want to play this. And I am very happy about the order that I played them in, because I actually was here for the campaigns, weirdly enough. So, you know, I was like, I want to try the single player campaign of this. You know, I know Call of Duty is usually known for its multiplayer or its zombies. Those are kind of the defining factors, the lasting factors of a COD game. But I was really here for the campaigns. And I still have to say, boy, some of these are very good. I was kind of impressed. For how much people make fun of Call of Duty, it's like, I was pleasantly surprised, especially by some of the older ones. So I started with the obvious option, Black Ops. And man, this game's a blast. I love its structure. I love its method of storytelling. It is like the perfect way to start off playing these FPS campaigns. Genuinely, I love this game to death. It's not perfect, and I definitely prefer its sequel, but still, Black Ops is a amazing game, and its campaign is just super stylish, and it's really cool. And so you might expect that I would go to Black Ops 2, but actually I was like, no, I want to get a little bit of chronological order energy in here. So I next went to Cold War, because I kind of wanted a taste of newer Call of Duty before getting back to what would be Black Ops 2. While Cold War certainly isn't my favorite, I do appreciate a few things about it. The main one is the fact that this is kind of the ultimate in-between of Black Ops games, because I feel like we have kind of two ends of the spectrum right now, at least. Black Ops 6 has by far the most variety and like how do I say this, like full feeling content. It's the least linear and gives you the most options, and there's just a lot to do. But say Black Ops 1 is probably the most linear. It's just mission to mission to mission. Like, that's it. It's just back to back. That's the game. And so while both of these are great, I think Cold War is in a nice spot right in the middle. It has a lot of the features and things that would return in Black Ops 6, but it still has a lot of that linear feel of the original games, which is really nice. And I thought it was kind of a cool thing to go from Black Ops 1 to Cold War, and then now on to Black Ops 2, which I'm sure you've never heard this opinion before. Black Ops 2 is the GOAT. There's no way you've ever heard this before. Yeah, seriously. The multiple endings thing in this game is awesome. Like, I know that was technically in Cold War or whatever, but it was just like a little choice at the end. It was kind of boring. But in Black Ops 2, everything you do like really matters, and that is cool. And the sheer amount of endings is also kind of impressive. I can't lie, the first time I beat it, I did get like the worst ending possible. I think that's kind of a testament to my skill level, but whatever. This game is really cool because it's set in the future, but it's not so far in the future that it's like completely just cyber technology everything. It's just far enough in the future that they could have some fun with futuristic technology, but it's not too far that's unrealistic. I just realized as I'm saying this, it's set in 2025. That's supposed to be this year. Oh my gosh. But until everything in Black Ops 2 becomes real, it's just going to be a future setting. We'll just keep saying it's in the future, don't worry. But yeah, the tone, the characters, everything. Menendez is such a good villain. Oh my gosh, I think he's such a good character, seriously. So Black Ops 2 is awesome, and man, it really is an incredible game. This was just a blast to play, and it really showed to me that for how much people make fun of Activision, and I do think rightfully so, there definitely was a time where they really were putting out such high quality media, especially Treyarch with Call of Duty. They really know what they're doing. And heck, even now they still know what they're doing. Activision just sucks. So before going on to what would be next, which is Black Ops 6, I wanted to take a step back because I kind of didn't want to go to the newest Call of Duty. Something in my head was like, oh, it's gonna be slop fest. So I was like, hold on, let's rewind, and we're going to World at War. And yeah, this game deserves all the praise that it gets. This is probably the most realistic and gritty adaptation of World War II you're gonna get in video game form. And what's also cool about it is that I love the switching of perspectives from the American to the Russian perspective. That's such a cool like gimmick, and it gives you a very different perspective on what would be a generic American hero World War II game or whatever. It just gives a different take on it, and I really do appreciate just the real down-to-earth grittiness of this game. I mean, the fact that you can be talking to a character, you can be liking this character that's going along with you in a mission, and then within 3 seconds, bam, they're dead. That's it. It was just some random dude behind a door. And I love how just disturbingly realistic that is. They don't have grand deaths most of the time, and it's not dramatic, and there's no, he's hanging off a cliff, can he get back up? Like, there's nothing like, no. It's just some random dude hiding behind a door, or some random trap, or something. It's not grandiose, and I think that that was a great way of just adding that extra layer of like realism to it to really make it feel like this is wartime. And it having all that plus a really good original story is great. Like, how do you do that? Like, seriously, dude, how do you make a World War II game and then add a new character into it and then just make that be one of the best characters in your whole series? Like, out of all the places that Reznov could be in, it seriously just had to be here, and that blows my mind. And the way he was weaved into Black Ops 1 is I do not think you could do this better. This is like genuinely some of the best storytelling you're like ever gonna get in like especially a FPS game. That's what I'm talking about here, not in general. I'm sure it's possible to do better than this, but in an FPS series, this is crazy. And with the gritty feel of the game, a lot of times you can feel really motivated with the team you're with. Like the voice acting, a lot of the line reads just really get you drawn into this world and the scenario that's going on. And I absolutely love that. World at War is definitely a classic, and it's really good. While its gameplay is definitely aged, it's not particularly smooth. Its story, theming, and just amazing decisions made within the campaign make it worth it. So now on to Black Ops 6, and wow, guys, when we're talking about outdated games, this is the opposite of that garbage. I mean, we're talking Omni movement, like this is the new shiny COD game, and I have to say, I think it's good. Yeah, I like it. I made a whole video talking about why I really like the campaign, and so I don't need to go too in depth, but just briefly, it's like, it's just a good campaign. It has so much variety and has a ton of fun ideas that I think literally like all of them land. Like, I really think any of the fun ideas they had with this campaign, they went all the way with it, and it's really worthwhile for that. Like the one with all the zombie boss fights and, you know, 115 playing, like, come on, man, this is awesome. I don't even have nostalgia for this, and this is still fire. And then you also have like an open world mission with tons of collectibles on the map. Oh my gosh. So yeah, this game has a ton of variety, and I really like its story. The new characters here are great additions. I really like all of them. So yeah, I mean, come on, like, you know it's a good game when I can just go, like, talk to Felix while he's cooking for, like, 5 minutes, unironically. Like, come on, like, that's awesome. That wraps up my experience with Call of Duty. I know that was a lot, but I could say that I'm a Call of Duty fan. Infinity Ward sucks. Boo. I hate you. I just want more Treyarch games. That's it. I'm just here for Treyarch. I'm not really here for Call of Duty. I'm just here for Treyarch Call of Duty specifically. So yeah, I probably won't be buying another Call of Duty until it's made by Treyarch, because then I know it's almost guaranteed to at least be pretty good. The next series I got into was God of War. It is kind of crazy how garbage the public perception of the series is. Now, I think people genuinely think the games are good. I don't mean that. I don't mean in the quality of the games. But man, Kratos as a character and all this stuff, it's either just like, ooh, violence, guys. Ooh, wow, this is so edgy. My mom would not let me play this game, dude. And then it's just like, father-son bonding time. Boy, I love you, boy. Like, bruh, what... And I do have to say, I did not get into this series just because I wanted to. I have to give a humongous shout out to SuperCon. This dude is a big God of War fan, and it really wore off onto me. I was like, I need to play these, because this guy keeps flipping, hyping them up so much when we're in VC. It's ridiculous. So I'm like, all right, you know, I'm gonna play them. I'm gonna play them. So I go on eBay, and I buy the first 2 games on PS2, and I get to playing. So, snapshot a week later, and I've played the first game, the second game, and the third game, and I started 2018. To put it lightly, I think I like God of War. Like, no, seriously, when it comes to series that I love, God of War is like right behind Sonic. Yeah, God of War is, oh my gosh, it's so good, dude. The first game, yes, it's an amazing game. I would say that it's a masterpiece, but the only thing that makes me not want to say that is that it does have first game syndrome, and man, it has, let's just say, a few rough patches where like I wanted to like break my screen, so that's not cool. But the second game, completely gone with that. It's just out the window. And then 3, it's even better. I don't even know how they did it. Like, the combat just made a huge leap. Some of the best mechanics in the entire series were just added in 3 casually, and it's like, oh, so this game's just like one of the best games ever made, I guess. And something that I think is seriously just put to the side because the new games have a larger story focus is how interesting of a character Greek Kratos is. Like, seriously, young Kratos, as we know him now, is an amazing character, especially in the first game, because Kratos is just known as like dude who yells all the time. But it's like also in the second and third game, he's kind of starting to lose his marbles because he's been just completely screwed over by like everybody, and every time he does something, someone else tries to take advantage of him, and he just keeps getting more angry about it. And the other half is because he's like talking to things that are like 500 times his size. I think you're gonna have to raise your voice a little there, buddy. But in the first game, wow, you get to see a very low and kind of down-to-earth Kratos, as you would say at this point. This is genuinely a man who's been serving the gods for 10 years so that he can be freed of his nightmares. That's it. It's not revenge. I mean, there's a little bit in there because obviously he still does not like Ares. I'm sure he doesn't. Like, let's not get it twisted. He still hates Ares, but the gods ask him to kill Ares too. And so he does it not just because he hates Ares, but because he wants to be freed from his nightmares. That is his main incentive. And so you have a hurt, broken man just trying to free himself from his past here. And that's the plot of the first game. The only reason he starts becoming just more focused on revenge is because they don't let him have his release at the end of the first game. They're like, yeah, no, we'll forgive you. I mean, we can't take away the nightmares. Yeah, sorry, screw you. And so that's when the iconic scene at the beginning of the game plays, and they don't even let him do that. They don't even let him have his end. Nope. Bring him back up. Nope, you're gonna be the God of War, buddy. You just won the lottery, pal. And obviously he doesn't want that. Why would you? He doesn't want a position of power. He just wants to be freed from the like weight on his shoulders from his past. He doesn't like, that's what he's trying to do, is free himself from the gods. Really, that's what he's trying to do, is get away from them. But nope, they keep bringing him back in, and he just keeps getting screwed over again and again. And man, he's just a really cool character. I think he's really likable. He's one of my favorite anti-heroes, as you would call them, and that's definitely Kratos. Kratos has, I would say, for the most part, understandable reasoning for his actions. Obviously, he goes a little bit far, as we see at the end of 3, but it does make sense. I understand why Kratos got to this point. I don't think it's ridiculous. So yeah, the first 3 games are some of the best combat games ever made, and the story of these games is some of my favorite in gaming as well. Kratos is just such an interesting character that I think was portrayed extremely well here. So then we have the new games. I mean, they're good. Yeah, that's actually kind of it. I will say I really do appreciate 2018's narrative, though. 2018 has a very interesting story. I thought it was really well done. There's a lot of really cool references to the Greek games. And then there's Ragnarok, which I will get into my opinions of comparing these games on a later date because these are big games, but overall, Ragnarok has better gameplay, but I think a lot of its pacing and a lot of other things in the game make me like it a lot less than 2018. But the gameplay did make a huge improvement. I will say, the best thing about Ragnarok isn't even in the game itself, it's the DLC, the Valhalla DLC. This DLC is all about the Greek games. Like, that's it. That's the whole basis of them. And wow, it is incredibly good. Seriously, it's amazing. I love this DLC so much. It's actually gameplay focused, which is something I can't really say about the main game in 2018 or Ragnarok, so I appreciate that. And it's not afraid to be incredibly difficult either, with, I would say, very interesting mechanics. Like, this is when the gameplay of Ragnarok really gets to flex its muscles. And it also being a roguelike, like, that's cool. Like, yeah, it was a little frustrating when I died on a certain tier boss a few too many times. It started to get a little frustrating. But either way, the Valhalla DLC was a great addition, seriously. And so, yeah, those were the main 2 series I wanted to kind of briefly talk about here, because as a Sonic fan going in, I just wanted to be open to something different, something new. And boy, it is just refreshing to play games that don't have a part of it that kind of suck. Now, I'm not here to say that all Sonic games are bad. I'm not trying to be that guy. Sonic still has some really good games. Generations, Colors, Shadow Gens, these are all games that I would say I don't really have many gripes with. But it's really refreshing to just play a game where it's like, it's just good, man. It's just a good game. No debates, none of this. It's just I'm playing the games and I'm thinking they're fun. And it's just kind of refreshing. That was probably my favorite thing about all of this. Is just playing different games and them just being good. It really is. It's been a great experience. And now obviously these are not the only 2 series I've played. I've been getting into other stuff, been playing some Platinum games, obviously Metal Gear Rising, Revengeance, Bayonetta. Heck, I played a Platinum game you may not even have heard of. That's Vanquish. This is a really cool cover shooter. Like, heck yeah, this is fire. I've beaten Final Fantasy VII Remake. Absolutely amazing game. Like, the writing in that game is like unreal. Like, seriously, like, these characters feel like almost too real to an extent, because like I forget that I'm like watching cutscenes in a game. I really feel like I'm actually spectating into this world. It feels so goofy, so realistic, so it's just perfect because it's not trying to be ultra serious, but it's not just completely off the wall and has like no depth to it at all. It's the perfect balance. This game has really interesting gameplay. The whole materia system is really cool. The way you can stack stuff and really figuring out what uses each of the members of your party have is awesome. The other series I'm starting to get into is Uncharted. I played the first game, Drake's Fortune, and wow, this is a really good game. I like it. Nathan Drake is an insanely likable character. This guy is great. And the way he bounces off the other characters, there's just it just really works. Like, the story isn't anything crazy. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's just like, wow, the adventurer's looking for the treasure. Like, it's not that crazy, but it doesn't need to be because the characters are why you're here. The characters are likable. Like, the plot they're in, whatever. Who really cares about that? Like, it's not really that crazy. You know, you got your classic one-note villain or whatever. It's like, it really isn't that crazy. The gameplay in the first game is not especially great. I mean, it's just kind of a cover shooter and then little kind of puzzle platformer, I guess? Yeah, sure, I guess that's what we'll call it. It has some puzzle sections, some little platforming bits, and yeah, I don't think anything about it is offensive at all. It's just not that crazy. I don't have anything to be like mad about. It's just not the greatest thing ever. So yeah, that's really about all I wanted to talk about today. I've been getting into a lot of other games. As I mentioned before, you know, we've got Black Ops games, the God of War games, we've got Final Fantasy VII, Uncharted, Platinum stuff, and then I also played Astrobot. That game's amazing. That's one of my favorite games of all time. Seriously, this game is awesome. I definitely want to make a video on it sometime. So yeah, it's just been a blast playing a lot of other games that just aren't so much like kind of would you rather. You know what I mean? Like I was kind of talking about how it's like, I appreciate games that I just feel like are good on all cylinders. And so yes, while I do think gameplay is most important, story comes second, I mean, I would still prefer both to be amazing. Like what am I gonna, like I hate to be that guy. I always hate when this image is used, but really, can I turn down 2 cakes here? Like, let's be serious. So yeah, if you are a brain-rotted, deranged Sonic fan, such as myself, do not fear, because honestly, get into God of War. That's probably got to be my biggest recommendation, because this series has a lot to offer. You've got, what, 5 main games to go through? The first 3 games, the original trilogy, and then the Norse duology to add on top of that. 2 very distinctly different things, but I think if you really like the original trilogy, even if you're not the biggest on the Norse duology, I think you'll still like it, because I got through it and I still thought it was really good. But genuinely, God of War is probably my first recommendation. Only thing that flippin' sucks is if Santa Monica would flippin' port the games, but they don't port the games. I don't know why they do not port the games. I'm sorry. I'm a little frustrated about this. So I'm gonna stop myself before I get too angry at Santa Monica for only giving us a skin for 20 years of one of PlayStation's most popular series. So whatever, I'm not gonna get too mad about it. That's for a later day. So yeah, I do hope that all of you have an amazing rest of your day. God bless. And play other games, please. Thank you.